and as soon as it hit my heart, I instantly teared up. I was overwhelmed with gratitude and love, and it was just the most profound experience of my entire life. The visions were incredible. The feelings were incredible. I felt like I was sending love to everyone that I knew and the whole world, and I was overcome with gratitude. And this greatly affected my life for the next 4 months. Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for joining me. I'm Alex with Mind Muscle Meditation. Really appreciate you tuning into this special episode. So, today, what I want to do is talk a little bit about meditation. I'll tell you about my experience and some of the benefits. And meditation, although I haven't really covered it too much on my channel yet, it's played a huge role in my personal life, and I want to share some of the benefits with you. So, some of the gurus, if you will, say that if every child was taught meditation at 8 years old, um, basically all the world's suffering would end and a lot of the problems would be resolved. So, that's a huge statement. And, like I said, meditation has played a big role in my life. So, I'd like to share my experience with you. So just to tell you a little bit about myself, I was raised in a religious background from the time I was, 8 or 9 until my 20s. And meditation was looked at in a very negative light, to say the least. Um, you know, the other side of my family, which wasn't religious, really felt that those things are kind of woo-woo and just has no place in our left brain society. So, anyways, I really didn't pay attention to it, and I thought it was just, a crock of crap, and I didn't incorporate it into my life in any way. However, as I got older and I started getting more exposed to it, I realized that there was a lot of successful people and a lot of people that I respected that meditated on a daily basis. And, they really contributed a lot of their success to it. And they felt that it made a big difference in their life. And so I was very reluctant to try meditating. I had tried just a little bit in the very recent past, and it never worked. Like I said, I was raised in a religious background, so there was a lot of emphasis on the Bible, and in the Bible it teaches things like meditate on the Word of God and things of that nature. And so my style of meditation, of what I thought, was really ineffective. So anyways, I got tuned into Tom Bilyeu on YouTube, which is awesome. I love him. I love his show, Impact Theory. And I highly recommend that you check out his content. It's all for free on the internet. He has his own website and YouTube channel, of course, and podcasts. And, side note, I say you have to brainwash yourself every day. You have to wash your brain. You got to keep yourself clean and keep those good thoughts in your mind, because negativity can take over. So mind management is huge, and you really have to make sure that you're taking care of your mind on a daily basis. So that's a great way to check out, to wash your brain, if you will. So check out Tom Bilyeu on Impact Theory. Anyways, back to meditation. So he had a guest on his show who many of you probably already know, is Emily Fletcher. And he also had a guest on his show, Joe Dispenza. So I started reading their books, and I was really reluctant to read Emily Fletcher's book, which is Stress Less, Accomplish More. But after I read that book, and also in another amazing book called Cybernetics, those two books are my absolute favorites. and they have really changed my life. And I never really read before, but after I read those two books, in the last 8 months, I've probably read 50 books. And I just listened to a lot of different books online, on YouTube, on the library app for free, and Audible. And it's really changed my life for the better. And so I still go back to my two favorites. And Stress Less, Accomplish More by Emily Fletcher is one of the most life-changing books for me. So like I said, I reluctantly read the book, and I said, okay, I'll give the 12-minute meditation a shot. And so I did. And I remember it very clearly. I was on a job site working some carpentry, and I decided to take a break, and I'll try the afternoon meditation, the 12-minute meditation. And right away, I was able to get into what's called transcendence. And it's hard to explain the feeling, but when you get into transcendence, you'll know. And I believe that every human being on earth can do this. I did not believe I could meditate. Like I said, I was reluctant to try. I was reluctant to read the book. I literally thought it could not work for me. And I tried it, and it worked. And as soon as I had my first 12-minute meditation session, I was hooked, and I knew there was something to this. So you also hear people like Ben Pakowski talk a lot about it, and many successful people. Ben Pakowski is an Olympian bodybuilder, just so you know. I love that guy. I love his content. Definitely check him out. But anyways, so that was the beginning of my meditation journey. And to tell you a little bit about the benefits are real. I started meditating every day, first thing when I woke up, and then another meditation in the afternoon, about 12 minutes long each. And so there's different steps, and I'll actually, I've actually written down the steps, so I will go ahead and post them in the comments. But I highly recommend that you read the book. The steps are just something that I go back to. I've written them out so that I have them as my go-to when I want to rehearse them, because sometimes I've forgotten some of the steps, and then it's not as easy to get into transcendence. And so I've gone in and out, and I will tell you that cutting out controlled substances like caffeine and alcohol can make a big difference on your meditation practice. So please keep that in mind, but don't be afraid to start if you're still consuming those substances. So first thing I noticed in a few days is my anxiety was drastically reduced. And when I was a teenager, and earlier before that, I never really had any issues with anxiety. I was always a go-getter. I started a little business, and a hard worker. But over time, as I've gotten older, the anxiety in my life just continued to get worse and worse and worse, and I didn't really know why. So I was really excited that was one of the benefits, that it could help lower anxiety. And so long story short, I went on a little vacation after I had been meditating for quite a few months. And on the vacation, I did not meditate. And, I was just having fun and doing this and that and getting distracted. And it was so funny because 3 or 4 days into the vacation, the anxiety started coming back. And I'm like, what's going on? And I remembered that I forgot to meditate. So I said, oh, okay, so here I go. So I started meditating again, of course. Now, there have been some very interesting experiences that I've had with this particular 12-minute meditation. However, I don't really want to get too into that, because I believe that most of your experiences are going to be slightly different. So I encourage you to have your own experience and have fun with that and see what happens. Also, I would caution you of who you tell about your meditation experiences, because I have received, for the most part, negative feedback. And at first that was pretty discouraging. I'm at a point in my life where I really don't care too much about what people say. I try to maintain my reputation, but at the end of the day, um, people are going to think what they want to think. And unless they experience something similar to you, you're not going to change them. All you can do is present the information and try to help them. And so, I've reached out to my friends, my close friends and my family, and I experienced a lot of rejection, to be honest with you. And that's okay, but I personally feel compelled to help people, and that's one reason I've started my YouTube channel. So anyways, the benefits have been tremendous for me. And what I love about it is it's completely free. It just takes a few minutes out of my day. Uh, what's also interesting is that just like the book says, I gained a lot of time in my day. I started waking up 3, 4 in the morning, full of energy. And this happened for months, not just once. And at the time, I was not consuming caffeine, no alcohol. So there wasn't any stimulants in my body, prompting me to wake up. And I felt amazing. And now I had an extra 3 hours of my day. So the time invested to spend, 12 or 24 minutes, 2 12-minute sessions in meditation was absolutely worth it. And so then, like I mentioned before, I've got turned on to Joe Dispenza through Impact Theory, and since then I've read nearly all of his books. Amazing, amazing man. I truly believe people like that are going to transform this world in the future. And one of my favorite books by him is You Are the Placebo. Highly recommend that book. Highly recommend it. Really great. So check that out. You Are the Placebo by Joe Dispenza. And he has a meditation. He has actually many meditations that he has. You can check out on his website. You can also find a lot of them for free on YouTube. And so even though I grew up in a religious background, my most powerful experiences that I've ever had in my life actually were in the very recent past from a meditation that he puts out called The Blessings of the Energy Centers. And I believe this is a Kundalini meditation, so it's very powerful. And it's all about concentrating on your energy centers. So I'll tell you my experience. So anyways, I reluctantly tried this meditation as well, even though I had amazing experiences with the 12-minute meditation. And the reason is because this particular meditation was 45 minutes long, or 50 minutes, nearly an hour. And I'm really worried about wasting my time, right? So I asked my wife, I said, hey, will you do this with me? So we lit a candle. It was probably 6 o'clock in the evening, and we put the meditation on the TV via Bluetooth, and we started listening to it. And there's all this, funny like humming and music, and it sounded very weird to me at first because I'm not used to that kind of thing. And 20 minutes in, I started getting angry because I really believed that I was wasting my time and nothing was happening. And so I look over at my wife, I open my eyes, and there she is meditating with her eyes closed. And I said, I'm really about finishing things I start now. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to finish this. And so I went back into the meditation. And at that point, you're meditating on the energy centers, and the energy is supposed to move up from your lower chakras to your higher chakras, and I believe you have 7 or 8 of them. And so, anyways, we were at the point where the meditation starts to concentrate on the heart. And so, as soon as the meditation switched to the next chakra in the heart, I felt this energy that was basically like a ball of energy, and it was in my heart. And as soon as it hit my heart, I instantly teared up. I was overwhelmed with gratitude and love, and it was just the most profound experience of my entire life. And then, of course, the meditation goes up to your throat, and then I believe to your pituitary gland in your head, and then above your head. And during the last parts of the meditation, I actually felt the energy about a foot or 16 inches above my head. The visions were incredible. The feelings were incredible. I felt like I was sending love to everyone that I knew and the whole world, and I was overcome with gratitude. And this greatly affected my life for the next 4 months. Every day I would wake up with amazing joy and just a unquenchable zeal for life, and just so excited to experience this. And I'm trying to hold back the tears because it's very emotional, and it's very powerful. And I can understand why the gurus said that if every child learned meditation by 8 years old, it could change the world, because it certainly changed me. And it was really powerful. And to me, it was mind-blowing, because I've just gone through so much with being raised in a religious background where it's very fear-based, always scaring people about hell. And so to experience something like this that had nothing to do with religion, and to be filled with so much love and gratitude, was absolutely incredible for me. And so, obviously this is a very personal experience, but I feel that more people need to have the courage to share their experiences, because things of this nature can truly change the world. I really believe that. And it not only can change the world, but it can change you. It can change me. It can improve our lives on a daily basis. It can allow us to function better. It can allow us to treat other people with more respect and love. And that's really what we need right now in this world. And I believe that there's a wave coming where these positive things will basically overtake the world, because we live in an age of information, but more importantly, we live in an age of transparency, where if you have any common sense at all, you can really see what's going on, and you can really put 2 and 2 together, and you can figure out for yourself what's true and what's not if you do enough research. And so things of this nature, I feel like, are super powerful, and I feel that they can tremendously benefit the individual and humanity as a whole. And that's my purpose in sharing this video. Now, I don't want to go too long on this video, because this is my experience with meditation. However, I do want to make another video that I outline the benefits of meditation specifically for fitness, since my channel is Mind, Muscle, Meditation. It's all three. And that's actually what got me into meditation, was the potential lowering of cortisol, which indirectly boosts testosterone. So anyways, I'll go into that on another video. But I hope that this was helpful, guys. I hope that you read both of those books that I mentioned. Again, that's Stress Less and Accomplish More by Emily Fletcher, and You Are the Placebo by Joe Dispenza. I truly believe that it'll benefit you. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. And if you found value in my content, please like and subscribe and comment. I love to hear your experience. I'd love to, hear your take on it and what you have to say. Perhaps I'll learn something from you. And check out some other videos online as well. There's a lot of people that have tried these different meditations. Blessings of the Energy Centers by Joe Dispenza is one of my favorites. And also one of my friends who had never meditated, I sent him a another meditation from Joe Dispenza, which is supposed to release DMT into your brain naturally. And this particular friend had had some experiences with psychedelics and things of that nature, and he had discontinued that for quite some time. But he said that that particular experience with that meditation was more powerful than anything that he had experienced, and he did have an out-of-body experience. So I personally have not had that experience yet, although I've tried that meditation many times. And as far as the blessings of the energy centers go, even though I've tried that meditation many times since my first experience, I still haven't had the same experience with that, which is a little frustrating. But I think one of my problems is I just get so excited about the experience that it ceases to happen, because one of the keys of meditation is to just let go and basically become nothing. And it's very hard to do that when you've had an amazing experience and you're very excited to experience it again. So anyways, I'm rambling a little bit here, but again, I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, leave a comment if you could, and let's grow this channel and send this message out. Thank you for joining me. Mind Muscle Meditation signing out.